All praises due to my Most High God, Master KINGNOBLEBLACKSUPREMACY. All praises due to my Most High God, Master KINGNOBLEBLACKSUPREMACY. All praises due to my Most High God, Master KINGNOBLEBLACKSUPREMACY. In this particular video, I would like to speak or add on to Master's video, pre-programmed assumption versus the awakening of the kingdom of God. You know, the pre-programmed assumption is in all of us. It's something that needs to be broken. It's part of the journey, you know, for us to be assuming anything. But it's also part of the control. It's part of wanting to control everything and control the outcome of your destiny and your journey, when really, in all actuality, you should be just trusting God. You know, and then that's the true test. When all these assumptions come up, when you start assuming things that you don't have to assume, making things to what they're not, you know, and not embracing the moment, you're not trusting God. You know, as you trust God, you step into awakening of the kingdom of God. You step into bliss, you step into happiness, you step into no fear, no lack, no limitation. And it's very beautiful. But I will say this, sometimes you will get a glimpse of your old self. That old self that is drowning in the sea of doubt, lack, limited, and fear. Is drowning in that sea. And as your higher self rises, it rises to the top. That lower self, you know, that demonic self, it becomes heavy. It weighs heavy. The closer you are to getting out of that ocean, you become more heavy. Gravity tries to pull you down, but just know to keep going, to keep swimming, to never give up, to know that you're almost to the surface. You know, don't focus on breathing, because that's our point right now. We're trying to rush and get to the surface because we think we're going to run out of air. We assume we're going to run out of air. You know, we assume that God's going to let us drown in there after we've been coming up for 5 to 10 minutes. We have forgotten that we haven't breathed in 5 to 10 minutes, you know. But we need that remembering of why we do need to get to the surface. You know, sometimes we have to go through remembrance of that heavy weight. So when we do come up out of that water or rise to the surface, we never have to look back. We know what that heavy weight, that heavy weight feels like to be pulled down. You know, we know that that's what our lower self or our mundane self is about. The heaviness of this world. You know, the heaviness of this world. You know, that's why it's good to be in the world and not of it. Because as you become of this world, you take on the heaviness of this world. You take on the pressures of this world. You take on the fear, lack, doubt, and limitation of everyone in this world. You know, let go and let God handle it. Because it's not your battle, it's God's. You know, we try to, you know, fix and worry about everything. And it's not our battle. It's not for us to fix. It's for us to keep on swimming and keep going and rise to the top by any means necessary. You know? But take note of what is pulling us down. Take note what is pulling us down. Take note what is heavy. You know? Yes, it gets very heavy sometimes. But we have to embrace the heaviness. We have to embrace the emotions. You know, as Master said, don't give it a home. Don't give it angry. Don't give it sad. Don't give it any type of name. Just embrace the moment. Regardless to what you're feeling at that moment, just embrace it. You know, stay in the moment of it all. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about rising to the top. Stay in the moment, you know, because the moment right now is a present. It's the true gift. You know, we be so worried about we're swimming to the top, but we don't even realize that we're actually swimming up underwater without breathing. That God got us, you know. So we get to worrying and panicking and having panic attacks, saying that I have to hurry up and get to the surface, not knowing I've been in this water for 10 going on 20 minutes. If I ain't drowned yet, I know God ain't gonna let me drown. So trust Him. Control yourself as you rise to the top. Control yourself as you move through this journey. Don't try to control the water. Don't try to control the water speed. Don't try to control what's in the water. Control you. Control yourself as you float and rise to the top. You get to a point where you don't even have to swim anymore. You float. You float. You're floating as you awaken to the kingdom of God. You're floating. It's effortless. You know? You start to struggle. You start to try to even swim harder or swim faster. That's when you start panicking. Because that's when the trusting of God leaves away from you. He wants you to put all His trust in you. Just float. Don't worry about swimming. Don't worry about going too fast. Just float. I got you. I got you. You know. Being born with the gift of God within you. Don't forget that. You know, we're possible of many things. You know, embrace that. If God got you all this time, through the 10, 20 minutes you've been floating up and gliding up, what makes you think He's gonna let you go now? Yeah, He knows it's getting heavier. The weight of gravity is pulling down on you to where it feels like you're going down. But believe me, baby, you are floating up. And you're going to continue to rise and float up. You're going to continue to rise and float up. He's not going to let you go. You know, just stay calm. Stay at peace with self. That's what makes you float. When you're completely calm. You're one with the Most High God, Master King Noble Black Supremacy. As He embodies you, you float. It's effortless. You know. Embrace the moment. Embrace the peace within. You don't have to do anything. Understand that. Understand the moment you're in. Understand the journey that you're in. You don't have to do anything. Embrace that. We look for things to do. We're not doing enough to get to the surface. We're not doing enough to have this awakening. But that was the point. Because when you get to the kingdom of God, you can't be doing all that shit you were doing before. You just got to relax and take on the moment. So can you take on the moment and be at peace in the moment while you float to the top and trust God? Or do you have to wait until you get to His kingdom in order to trust God? Can you trust God now as you float while you're in, you know, while you're up underwater, while it feels like the top will never come? Can you trust Him? You know, this is the true test. Can you trust Him? You know, you're going to have feelings. You're going to have an explosion, you know, especially when the last little bit of air comes out of you. God wants you to know, once that air come out of you that you've been holding, that you didn't need to hold, you could have been let it out. Are you going to trust Him? Are you going to trust me now? You could have been let that air out. You could have been gas for air. Trust me. Let me control this shit. Let me do this shit. Stop trying to control everything and just relax. Control yourself in this water of new, as you float to the top. Because as we rise to the top, the water becomes new as we become new. A new self, a new beginning, a new awakening of the kingdom of God. And like Master said, it's very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. Be grateful in the moment, you know. Be grateful of the moment, you know. That this whole journey, this whole path is so uniquely beautiful. It's difficult sometimes, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Embrace the difficult moments to endure the beautiful moments. Rise and awaken to the kingdom of God. All praise is due to my Most High God, Master King of Black Supremacy. All praise is due to my Most High God, Master King of Black Supremacy. All praise is due to my Most High God, Master King of Black Supremacy.